thought you was safe hiding out in Puerto Rico? Guess who shows up? ICE. And they're there for the me no black community, aka Dominicans. And I don't feel bad, because if you know anything about the history of the Dominican Republic, they tried to cleanse their island 2 times of black people. Back in the early 1900s, the 30s, they had this thing called the Parsley Massacre, where if you couldn't roll your tongue because it's a double R, you have to roll your tongue to say that word, they cutting you down with machetes. And they did this because it was difficult for the Haitians to roll their R when speaking Spanish, like the double R sound, because they have their own language. And the DR also used their military to deport Haitians back to their country. And don't try to use birthrights over there, because they not having it. And not only that, the Dominican Republic, they aspire to be like Argentina. They want an all-white country, just like Argentina. If I was y'all talk about boycotting, I wouldn't even go support the DR. All right, have a good one.
The man we spoke with is a U.S. citizen. He provided us with documentation of his legal status. He says this experience has shaken his faith in the immigration enforcement efforts of President Donald Trump, for whom he voted, he says. This is what Yenzi Machado managed to record on his phone Wednesday. He says while he was driving to work with 2 other men, he was stopped by ICE agents on Lamont Drive in Manassas, a short distance from his home. He says he was confused by what was happening, why agents surrounded the pickup truck. He spoke with our sister station, Telemundo 44 reporter Rosbelis Quinones, who was the first to report his story.
And they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And, everything was really fast.
Machado says the agents said the name of a man they were seeking for a deportation order, someone who had given Machado's home address. He said that was not his name, and he did not know anyone by that name. He offered to show them this, his real ID-compliant Virginia driver's license. It has a star in the upper right corner and requires proof of lawful status.
They didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. And then after that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And I told him I was an American citizen. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? Because he asked the other guy, do you believe him?
Machado said he was uncuffed and immediately released after showing his driver's license. The 2 men with him were taken into custody. He does not know why. The incident has caused him to reflect.
Definitely, because like I say, I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals.
So, do you think that's what they're doing now?
That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like.
Immigration lawyers suggest that residents and
a police car behind me put the lights on, so I stepped on the side, right, to let him pass through, but it didn't happen. So he just parked in front of my car, the other one parked behind me, and they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And at this point, they didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. After that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? At this point, I was with handcuffs sitting on the sidewalk. And then he took my ID and saw that it was a real ID. The other guy said, take the handcuffs off, take the handcuffs off. I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals. That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like, because they didn't ask me for anything.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children, and he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take them in, process them, lock them up.
Got it, sir.
And breaking news today, more local protests are happening over President Trump's immigration policies.
Students at several schools have walked out of class. KTLA 5's Rich Prickett is above a crowd in downtown Los Angeles in Sky 5. Rich?
Yeah, Glenn and Lou, and you're seeing a few hundred of those students here making a march towards City Hall. We're along First Street in San Pedro, so making our way through the Little Tokyo area from the Boyle Heights area. You can see the long line of protesters that are making their way along First Street, as well as a caravan of cars that are following directly behind them, all with flags and signs. Where are they headed? Well, they're headed down First Street, and they're going to make their way over to City Hall, where they're going to merge with another group that's here on the steps of City Hall. So there's going to be several hundred, if not well over 1,000 of students that will now be joined together here in front of City Hall in downtown LA.
They're building deportation centers, they're building detention centers with the intent of having basically enslavement, forced labor, and it's all about money. And I believe that they're using racism, divisiveness to turn people against each other, the common man. And I have friends, loved ones that are afraid to send their kids to school. They're afraid to go to work. They're afraid that they're going to lose their place in this country. We're seeing parallels from, World War II Germany. And if we just sit by idly and let it happen, I'm terrified that we're going to end up in another world war. And if that happens, I mean, Musk and all of them, they don't care if we end up in a world war because they're not going to be the ones that are fighting it. It's going to be people like me, going to be people like you. It's going to be our children, our brothers and sisters that are getting sent off to war. I can't sit by on my couch anymore and just watch this from the TV. I have to get out here. The fact that this is happening in every state capital all across the country, that we're not just an isolated voice. The American people feel that this is wrong.
Ahí viene la migra, la migra, la migra.